My name is Matti Klenell, and I live in Stockholm in Sweden, and I work as a designer. The thinking behind the glass that I have made now it's actually quite fun, because I had the idea for the glass already before I was commissioned by Iittala to do this glass. And the history behind that is that I am grown up with two parents that are both glass artists, and so I'm sort of grown up in a glass workshop. And my father, he's doing a lot of glass or everyday objects in glass, and he has made this glass, which is a typology, kind of everyday glass. And I was inspired by this because I've used it for all my life, so to speak, and I thought it was a great product, and I have been thinking so often of making this product for a mass-produced. This is handmade. This is blown glass, where all glasses are extremely unique, and they are made without any molds. So there is a liveliness to the materiality and to the project or to the object that I really like, and of course I have a personal relation to it. But I wanted to try to do this in a serial-produced way. So when Iittala came up with this idea of making a stemware for everyday use and that you could use 24/7, I sort of already had the idea in my mind what to make, and so it was a pretty quick process for me of sort of deciding in what direction to go. So the Lempi glass was made very much that I started it as a pictogram, more or less. I wanted to make a cup, and I wanted to make a stem, and I wanted to make a foot, and I tried to differentiate them so that I would get different kinds of thickness in the different parts of the glass. The idea was to make one glass that would work in every situation. That was, of course, also the great design challenge here, to make something that never felt misplaced. But of course I looked a lot upon my own living situation when I designed it, because I am a glass nerd. I collect glasses, and I enjoy doing so at flea markets, and so I have really looked upon what kind of qualities do I like in a glass. And one thing that I really liked with it, or that I noticed in my own living situation, was that I'm living in a city apartment, as many other people do nowadays, and I have quite limited space, and we have small cupboards, quite small kitchen in relation to the rest of the apartment. So that was one thing that took me further in the development process of the glass, that made it stackable, for example, that it is possible to place many of them in the cupboards, because usually if you buy stemware, or you're quite doubtful of buying a stemware because they occupy a lot of space, and then it's easier to buy something that could be piled. And I therefore decided to make a stemware that could be piled in the same way as other glasses, so that you could make room for more of them. So I must say a lot of the ideas and thoughts around the glass, both in habits of how you eat, and at what times of the day you eat, and what kinds of food you eat, and also how you take care of the glass when you're not eating, is from my own life and my own habits and the life of my family. I wanted to make a round, quite shallow glass that has a lot of materiality, no matter if it's clear or if it's a colored version, it should be something where you experience the glass as a material. I also wanted it to sort of have the right kind of informality. It should look like something precious, which stemware often does, but it should not look like something precious in the way that you are scared of taking it out of the cupboard. It once again goes back to the glass that my father did, and that I have used for so many years, that I knew by experience had this kind of nice quality, that it has a good purpose, and then that you could use it for many different occasions. So I think the key element that I wanted to bring was this kind of roundness and the sort of hospitality somehow that the shape should sort of signal when you open the cupboard and start deciding what glass to pick out. And I think I succeeded pretty well in that it has this kind of sweetness to it. Yeah, at least to me, it says hello in a nice way when I open the cupboard.